Today I wanted to give you guys the absolute best Anime Vanguards tier list. I'm just going to take a step back real quick and say, this is not the best. This is all going to be my opinion, and if you disagree with something or a placement of a character in this video, let me know down in the comments. Let me know peacefully, by the way. Try not to argue with people, and try not to get too upset about it. Keep in mind too that a lot of these placements can probably shift and move, so maybe some of them can actually go up, and maybe some of them can actually go down and change. But if this tier list helps you out, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. We're getting very close to 6,000 subscribers, and I said it before, but we're probably going to do a face reveal at 10k subs, and if you guys want that, hey, hit that subscribe button. But let's jump into the tier list. Alright, so here we are on the tier list. You can already see there's some characters I didn't rank, and that's mainly just because they're kind of bad or don't have much use, right? I know Gogeta's down here. He's in the list. It's just for some reason there were two of them on it, whatever. And we have all the brand new units at the bottom of this list. Now, the only one I am not going to be ranking today is Senator Armstrong, which is right here. Unfortunately, literally no one has done a showcase on him. And for what I know, Battle Pass is glitched. I'm getting way less Battle Pass XP than normal, and I can't even buy the Battle Pass. So I would showcase him for you guys, but I can't. So we're gonna have to exclude him unless while I'm editing this, maybe his kit comes out. But all these other dudes will be ranking. Keep in mind that when I'm ranking these are gonna be their units with their best possible trait in their best possible situation. So their best teams with their best traits, whatnot, familiar, whatever it is, right? So first unit we actually have is going to be Hollow Knight. If upper meta is getting too crowded, I might just move some people down. Truthfully, I think I'm gonna move Yuha Baba down because I'm not a big fan of him, and I think this should be good. We're gonna start with ranking Hollow Knight. Now, Hollow Knight is an amazing unit. Let me get this out of the way. This update has actually come out with some great characters, and then some kind of mid ones, but Hollow Knight is one of the best characters in this game. Hollow Knight has so many uses, and there's a lot that you can squeeze out of Hollow Knight's kit, and that is the reason why they are so strong. They're full AoE, they're summoning with like 1 million HP enemies. You have the relics at the start of the game, which you can kind of your Hollow Knight to do different things, and then you have basically a nuke. You can kill leaks, and you have like a little like pool that you can put in the ground. Hollow Knight is a monarch unit, by the way. You're definitely gonna want monarch on him. Hollow Knight, truthfully, I think I'm gonna throw like here above Griffith. I think you could probably put, yeah, I'm gonna put him above Sukuna. I think with monarch, Hollow Knight is absolutely disgusting. Keep in mind, these two are actually buffing each other, or at least Sukuna is buffing Hollow Knight. So if you want to run them together, go ahead. But next unit we have is Wonder of You. Wonder of You is very, very odd. He walks down the path and he doesn't actually attack, but when enemies get near him, they start taking damage and he can go through them. So very interesting. He's a very, very interesting unit. He is nature, which is a very garbage typing, so that's really good. Truthfully, Wonder of You probably is going to go... Also, before I even rank him, he's a monarch unit. You're going to want monarch on him. He's one placement, so he is like most monarch unit of monarch units. But truthfully, I'm probably going to put him, I would say like right here. Because Wonder of You, actually no, I'm going to put him below these two. I think I'm going to put him right here. I think Wonder of You is great. I think he has a lot of potential. Maybe I haven't used him enough, but he's not super, super expensive to max. And he's just one of those units that you just kind of down and you let him do his thing. He can't really be a main DPS for your team. I'd say that's his biggest problem. But other than that, he's great. Next, though, we have is Raiden and Sam. So this is the tier 50 of the Battle Pass, and we have seen them. They are a Monarch unit as well, and genuinely, I don't think they're the greatest, especially right now, because Blast is a very heavily competed typing right now. There's a lot of good Blast characters in the game, so being Blast is a little bit of a tough spot right now, and he's not really that great in my opinion. His whole thing is he's super similar to Invincible, where they're constantly attacking, and his whole gimmick is that he basically after the 10th attack will do all the damage that he dealt back onto that enemy It's just kind of whatever unit. I think he's probably going to be floating around here. I would say probably above Frieza because he is doing a ton of damage. And he's full AoE, I believe, too. So he is doing a lot of damage, but just not that useful. Next is Spot. So Spot is very interesting. Spot's whole gimmick is they can hit anyone on the entire map. So super similar to Uryu and Delta. But when they're outside of his range, his normal range is like, whenever they're outside of his normal range, they take 50% less damage. So he is getting a big nerf from that. He also has something called Nemesis, where he marks a random enemy to be his nemesis, and he'll always attack them whenever he attacks, even if he misses them. So that could be useful if you can get that to work. His only problem is his damage is a little low, even with Monarch, and I get why. It's because he has infinite range, but the minus 50% damage loss he gets when they're not in his range is actually like, it is super bad in my opinion. It holds him back. I'm probably gonna put him below Baiken. He does repulse, so I guess he's got some support. This is probably gonna be a longer tier list video because there's a ton of characters in this update. But next is Kazuma from Konosuba, and he has Aqua, Megumin, and Darkness. So we have a lot of units with this. So essentially Kazuma is very unique. He's doing many things. He is permanently slowing. He is reducing his own SBA. He's buffing everyone's damage basically permanently that are in his range. And then he has a summon that he can put on the map that just progressively gets more and more HP as the round go on. And then he also has a nuke that is very OP. Kazuma's only problem, right? He's a water unit that is super great. Water is not a great thing in this game right now. His only problem is his damage is so awful. His DPS is so low. Genuinely, the only use you'd be getting out of this guy is his little thing, like a little character that stands in the path and takes damage from Darkness, and his nuke. Outside of that, he's got horrible AoE and his damage is just super low, but his support is amazing. I'm probably going to put him near the top of support, probably behind, actually, yeah, behind Weather Report. Everyone on your team permanently slowing enemies. Those two things alone are amazing. Then he has the defense stuff with Darkness, and then he has a nuke just in case you need it. I think he's a great support unit. All right, next unit is Neko Arc, aka Cat. This is going to be kind of a tough unit to rank because this is an entirely RNG based character. Cat's entire kit is basically every time they attack, they apply a random status effect that can be any status effect in the game. So they are really weird, and then for every status effect they put on an enemy, they get buffs and whatnot, buff their damage. This unit actually has a pretty high DPS threshold if you're lucky, and they are a Monarch reliant character. They're 2 placement, so you're definitely going to want Monarch on them. I'm probably going to put Neko Arc, I think, right here. I think you could argue maybe putting them up here, but I'm gonna put them at the top of meta just for now. They are a heavy RNG based character. That is the reason I'm putting them so low, or at least in meta and not in upper meta, is because they are a heavy RNG character. So if you just get unlucky and you just get like slow instead of like effects, then yeah, you're gonna struggle probably a little more than you'd want. All right, so next unit we're gonna go ahead and do is going to be Dio over Heaven. Obviously, this is the big boy of the update, the giant big character that's come with this update. Dio is a holy unit. He is a 1 placement Monarch reliant unit. You don't even need Monarch on him for it to be good, but his whole gimmick is he has 2 different forms. One form where he can choose any element in the game to take and put on himself, and then he has an insanely OP time stop. The worst thing about Dio, the only downsides he has, is his AoEs are just kind of, and his range is very bad. Other than that, Dio is absolutely nuts. His damage is crazy. Now, is he the best unit in the game? I'm just going to put him right here to be safe between Broly and Hollow Knight. I don't have the damage numbers, so I don't know if he can be better than Broly, but lat DPS is looking way better. Broly's crits might give him just a little bit more DPS and might give him the edge, but yeah, Dio over Heaven. All right, next unit we have is going to be Godzilla, aka Lizard. This unit is a Spark Monarch reliant unit. Basically, almost everyone in this update is Monarch reliant, but Lizard is very interesting. He is full AoE basically at all times. He's doing burn. He's increasing everyone's DOT by 30%, which is amazing. And then on top of that, he has a very OP nuke that charges with a radiation meter, it's called. I'm probably going to put Godzilla way up here. I think I'm going to put him right behind, behind these dudes. This guy is insane. I mean, DOT damage is insane. Being full AoE with crazy range is crazy. Being Spark is good because Spark is not a good element. There's a lot of value to this guy. I'm just him existing, I think makes Coyote, I'll probably move Coyote maybe down a tier. Next, though, we have Ruby Rose. So Ruby Rose is a very interesting character. There's been a lot of debate about Ruby Rose. She is a passion unit, finally, another good passion unit that is very simplistic. Her whole thing is she just needs to attack constantly. That's it. That's all her kit is. That's all she needs to do. She has a cone attack, a circle AoE attack, and then a full AoE attack, and she just kind of rotates through those depending on the enemies. Her DPS is actually pretty decently high when you do have Monarch on her. It's like K, and I'd probably put her down here in the meta tier. I think probably right here. No, probably above Frieza. I think I'd put her right here. I think she's being heavily carried by her being a passion unit. Outside of not being passion, she doesn't really do anything super unique. She just does a lot of flat damage, and she is just a unit for a really horrible element in the game. So I think that alone carries her. Next, though, is Deku, aka Traitless Vigilante. He is a nature unit that you also want Monarch on. Now, this is an interesting character. A lot of people have very different feelings about this guy, and in my honest opinion, I think he might be the worst character from this entire update. He doesn't really do much. His whole gimmick is that he follows enemies constantly. So he's basically like a mini Kaguya, and then he does more damage on hitting the same enemy. And that's about it. Truthfully, he's kind of pricey, so he is a 3 placement, but maxing 3 of them is going to be super expensive, and his DPS is very low. It's like 60k without a trait, so with Monarch, that's around like K. Not super good, man. I'm following enemies, which is going to be super useful, but when your DPS is super low and there isn't really a difficult game mode, you don't get much use out of this. Truthfully, I'm going to put him right here behind Gilgamesh. A lot of people are going to say, oh no, he's good, he's good. In my opinion, he is not good because there is not a game mode in this game, in my opinion, that's so difficult that you need someone like him to chase people around. The thing with Kaguya that makes her good is she has support. She has a nuke on top of all of her teleporting that she does. So you're getting multiple uses out of her, and her whole gimmick isn't just the teleporting, which with Deku, it is. Sadly, it's the case. I hope maybe they buff him or something because people are really upset about him being weak. Definitely the worst unit in the update, in my opinion. But next, we're back up to having good characters. We have Doomslayer. Now, Doomslayer he is such a weird unit. His whole gimmick is that he has an ammo meter, and he gets to switch weapons whenever he runs out of ammo, and he can only attack when he has ammo. But man, his base DPS is it's an extremely good type right now in this game, so that is the sucky thing, is he's competing with some of the best. But when you pop this dude's ability, oh my gosh, he just becomes God mode. Truthfully, I'm gonna put Doomslayer, I think, right here above Godzilla in upper meta. You could probably debate putting him like above Kaguya, but I think for now I'm gonna put him behind Kaguya. This guy's DPS he does is just ridiculous, genuinely ridiculous. And then finally we have the last character, excluding Armstrong we said earlier. We have Shiro, which is a wholly Monarch reliant unit. And this guy is very, very OP. I wish Dio wasn't the same type as him, because this guy would be the best holy unit in the game, in my opinion. He has a mana meter that you kind of micromanage a little bit, but dude, some of the things you can do are insane. You can give him infinite range. He's up to like 1 million DPS when you have Monarch on him. He is genuinely probably the second best holy unit behind Mr. Dio. I'm gonna put Shiro, in my honest opinion, I think above Doomslayer. You could probably argue between these two and move them, but for now, this is it, guys. This is my tier list. If you agree or disagree with something, let me know down in the comments. I think they did a pretty good job with the balancing this update. Every single character is upper meta. We have Konosuba dude down here as probably one of the best supports in the game. I'd say the only two L's this update are Deku and Spot, because they are just so disappointing, right? They could have done so much more with these two characters because they're very interesting, but I digress. This is my tier list. I hope this video helped you, and I hope you guys enjoyed the tier list. I have some cool videos coming up next, so keep your eye out for that, and with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.